Welcome to Business Showcase. I'm Edward St. Pé here at Ocean 7. Well, we've got an interesting guest joining us today, Mr. Aloysuis Brown. And Aloysuis, welcome to Business Showcase. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Now, we, from time to time, have recording artists on the show, and we found you, and you are the first rapper who raps Christian music that we have interviewed on our program.
Awesome.
So there's maybe not a lot of Christian rappers out there, right?
Well, I mean, you have, I want to say it's an audience that's growing.
Is it growing? Because it's a popular form of music, and anything like that, any popular form of music, gospel would embrace, whatever it would be, right?
I believe so.
So when you perform, for example, give us an example of the type of venue that you would perform in as a gospel rapper.
Yes, sir. In the house of the Lord, a church.
In the church.
In church, and we're now in the process of putting together an event at the Biloxi Civic Center as well for 2021. And, just like the streets, you can perform the gospelness in the streets as well. So it's basically wherever you can get to give a prayer to the good Lord. I performed and while I was incarcerated, and for the inmates just to get the day by. And we come together, have prayer call, and say a few prayers and sing a few songs.
So what came first for you, the gospel or the rapping?
I'd say the gospel did. My mother brought me into it from church, just watching them singing in church, before my feet could even touch the ground in the church bench. I'm sitting and watching people, the elderly, sing songs, and excited me to where I was wanting to do the same thing as far as do the singing. And as time moved on, I envisioned artists would mention God a lot in their music. And I thought to just not only mention it, but to pull it all together and make it just about God, the songs. And eventually, became a Christian rap artist.
So the market for that, I mean, what people are listening to Christian rap artists? Is it a different market? Is it young people, or is it an older audience, or what?
Sir, I would like to say that it's about the same as far as from the elderly to the young. You got Dougie Fresh. He's from the old school, you consider rappers, and he's put out a gospel song. And you have Curtis Blow. He's from the old school era, and he's performed in churches. And the children, they tend to love it. And the middle class, I'm 45 now, will not say that we tend to look at it as a way of life nowadays, when you have people like Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls being that they're dead and gone. It's like someone we viewed a lot throughout the day, and being that they've passed away, it's like that's the thing in life, is to think about the goodness of God on a daily basis.
Because, you mentioned Biggie Small and Tupac, both of them were murdered.
Yeah, amen.
So, there has been a lot of violence associated with rap. There's two big artists, for example, that were killed. I think both of them are unsolved mysteries at this point even.
Yes.
So, of course, when you cross over into the Christian rap, I'm sure that it's a whole different thing, right? It's a whole different perspective. We don't see violence associated with Christian rap. I wouldn't think so, right?
Well, then, I mean, going back to what I was saying about people, they mention it in their music. You had artists like Tupac and Biggie Smalls, they spoke about life after death, and Tupac with Only God Can Judge Me, and so being that they spoke about it, and these were like your considered thugs, the violent people in the music industry as well as the streets. The people that you have today, it's like there's no telling where a bullet would come from. You have people in churches that have pulled out guns and have murdered, and so it's like where the devil will come, it's like he's able to attack, but God is there to defend. So I would say that whether the artist is speaking about God totally or he's partially speaking about him, my opinion would say that if you take one step to give God thanks, that like puts you in a Christian field, So I believe that all artists are, unless they say that they're for evil, are of evil, but them thanking God for letting their album drop, it makes me think that, wow, that person's a Christian, because that person is for, and Jesus says, whoever is for us isn't against us. And so, I mean, you can find on their credits how they would thank God for letting them see another day or them dropping their album or single. And so, to answer your question, I'm thinking that that basically, I believe that all artists are of the talent, gifted, are giving God the glory.
So the average concert that you might perform at, you would be representing the rap artist at the gospel music event, but you'd also have more traditional artists too performing, which would be when we think of a gospel quartet, for example, something like that. That would be part of the venue also, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
How do they look at the new kid on the block, the new rap artist? Because a lot of the old artists, the conventional gospel quartets and such, they're sort of traditional, right?
Yes, sir.
How do they feel about having a rap artist up there with them?
Yeah, just it brings me back to when the disciples came to Christ, and they were like, somebody's down the road casting demons out, healing people. And Jesus was like, anyone who's for us isn't against us, to leave them alone and let them do their good. So I'm thinking that the pastor in my mother's church, the people in my mother's church, my mother, like you were saying, of the old tradition, she was telling them that she didn't want me to do the rapping or whatnot in church. But the pastor says, and the people in the church, they were like, let him do it, and week after week, they were loving it. And so my mother eventually, as time passed, stood up in church and was saying sing a song, because she eventually came into the likeness and seeing that it was for God and not against him, and just a different style of talent. I want to say a different gift or different language, in a sense of speaking the word. You have your spiritual dancers, and like you were saying, your gospel singing, gospel choirs, their style of spreading the word, and it's just I feel a different form of helping people get closer to Christ.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to ask you if you can do a performance for us.
Praise the
This
Lord.
will be a first for us on Business Showcase, and hopefully it will create some interest out there, and maybe hopefully someone will call you for booking. So hopefully it'll be a positive thing career-wise.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. So stay tuned. We'll have the continuation of the show after this. Well, Dr. Lauren Timmons, who practices dentistry here in Ocean Springs, cosmetic dentistry, family dentistry, is here with us. Welcome to the program, Doc.
Thank you, Ed.
You know, it's almost a miracle what can be done today. For example, person has an accident, let's say the tooth is broken, they can go in, you can pull the tooth, put the implant in, build a tooth right there, put it in, and they walk out with a whole new tooth implanted in.
That is correct.
One day, one visit.
That is correct. No gooey impressions, no second appointment. All thanks to 3D X-ray technology, which we have in our office, which is a big deal, game changer in dentistry today.
And that's a very, very new technology, right?
It is, and we're proud to offer that here. And then we design and mill out the crowns, fire them in an oven, and seat them all in one day.
10 years ago, that would be considered impossible, right?
Correct, yeah, and we have that technology today.
Thanks for being here with us in Ocean Springs.
Thank you.
Paran's Jambalaya Kitchen. Homemade Cajun dishes for takeout, curbside pickup, or home delivery. Call 228-207-2821. We serve offices, we cater, and we serve hungry families. From jambalaya and pastalaya to cracklins and boudin. Especially appealing, our wonderful and legendary pecan pie. That's Paran's. Call 228-207-2821. Well, we have with us the Christian rapper, Aloysuis Brown. And Aloysuis, you know, I hate to put you on the spot, but you said you would perform a Christian rap song, and we would like you to do so. So if you don't mind, take center stage, and we'll be your audience.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great, great. To all, this is a song called Beautiful. It's about speaking the truth. The truth is the most beautifulest thing in the world, like Jesus was when he was here on earth with us. In flesh, now his words is all we got left, and that's beautiful. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. The Lord created that to do that like that. The rain drops from the sky every now and then. In some places it rains all the time. They call them rainforests. I love the way that the Lord created life with beautiful things that makes you feel all right. Nice, comfortable, relaxed, beautiful, because God loves you. The preacher do, and Jesus too. I'm pretty sure that somebody told you that Jesus loves you. They wasn't lying, they were telling the truth. That's beautiful. The truth is the most beautifulest thing in the world, like Jesus was when he was here on earth with us. In flesh, now his words is all we got left, and that's beautiful. As the night comes along with the stars and the moon, I assume that this is what the Lord wants me to tune into. It's true, the sun rises, then sets. Then the moon comes next, the rain pours. And I like the way that the wind feels when it blows on me. The love from the Lord is beautiful, yes, indeed. Without God, society would be wrecked everywhere. I thank God that they got churches everywhere. Even in our hearts, there's a church there. Amen. And that's beautiful. The truth, speak the truth. The truth is the most beautifulest thing in the world, like Jesus was when he was here on earth with us. In flesh, now his words is all we got left, and that's beautiful. Thank you.
Wow, that was really, really great. And you know, that was a really interesting thing to see, a Christian rap artist. And so, you know, it just occurred to me that Run DMC, right? They were, I guess some of the forerunners of that genre, but they, at least we have one minister that came out of that, right?
Right.
So I guess Christian influence, even in rap, even with Run DMC, I guess it's not that unusual after all, is it? I mean, in a way, right?
You're right. You're right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's good. It's good because it's something that's so popular and all the kids love it. It's good that there is a crossover into into Christianity with rap music. I think it's a great thing.
Amen.
So
right.
now we had on the screen some information about your management and such. People would contact if they said, "Well, I would like to have Aloysuis come and perform."
Yes.
We've got your manager up on the screen. That's Dr. Bradford Howard Jr., right?
Yes.
And so, has he been in rap music, or is he in general entertainment, or is he in the world of Christianity? How did you put together that manager?
Well, actually, I was trying to, like I was speaking to you earlier about getting out from Mississippi to the world. And so I'm on my cell phone looking for help. And I stumbled across this company that was into radio advertisement. And they were like, if you got music, send it to us. And well, I did so. And come to find out, the person was wanting to work with me. And not only was he just wanting to help me, but he was wanting to do it for the good Lord. And finding out not only that, he's a pastor as well as my manager. And he's a gospel singer also, too. And yes, indeed. And so it was like God working in mysterious ways. And from there, after him seeing that I was out trying to do this by myself, like I was telling you, I'm the founder of my record label, God's on Me Records. And well, he was saying that he believes that God called on him to help me. He felt that I was out there by myself and that I could use some help, and pulled me in under his wing. And now he calls me his godson. He's like my godfather as well. Like they say that the young are to honor the elderly like thy mother and thy father. And so him being up to age, he was saying that he got a birthday coming. It's about to be 74, I'm thinking. And like I said, me 45, and it's like a father to the son in the eyes of the good Lord, giving God the glory.
Well, you got a great voice, and it's a
good Lord,
and it's a real pleasure to meet you. And good luck to you in the future. I hope that this exposure on television will help a bit in the social media play, because of these videos that we just cut. Yes. We're going to, of course, give some of these videos to you for your social media, and we're going to post them on Ocean 7 social media. And I hope this contact out there with the public will help you and help you with your success, right?
Yes.
We're all in this together. We got to help each other, right?
Amen. Amen. A question.
Yes.
I'd like to let people know about where they can find my single.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. It's you can locate it on distrokid.com. That's distrokid.com. And
how do you spell that?
distrokid.com. And it's in stores worldwide. The single is called Beautiful by me, AB, always bringing it Brown. And it's on Shazam, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. Like I say, it's just worldwide on digital stores, digital platforms.
It's amazing what's happened. In the old days, I can remember growing up, we have to go to the record store, right? Get music. There's no more record store. It's gone.
Right.
It is all digital distribution.
Yeah,
and it's good because it empowers people. The digital distribution empowers artists to get their music out themselves without the middleman, so to speak, of the old days. So it's kind of a revolutionary time we're living in right now. Such a change from the way it was in old days.
Amen.
So
Yes, sir.
anyway, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And
God
I wish
bless
you the greatest success. And we will maybe have you back on again as you get your next record
Yes, sir.
out. We stay in contact with our director, Clarence. We'll have you back, okay?
Sounds great. Sounds
Okay,
like a
good. Thank
plan.
you. Okay, we'll be right back. After this, stay tuned. Edward St. Pé with Nathan Prescott
Hi.
from Law Focus. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Law Focus, we have it every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and then again a repeat performance at 6 p.m.
Sure.
So tell us, what is Law Focus all about?
Well, Law Focus is sort of self-explanatory, and it is a show focused on the law, but an ancillary sort of arm to that is that Law Focus involves the law in you. It involves how the law affects your day-to-day life. Through the shows, we've addressed the Landlord-Tenant Act, we've addressed trademarks, copyrights, constitutionality of issues, criminal issues, and even current events that exist in the law with different types of things that come up. So anything that involves the law and affects you is fair game for Law Focus, and we're proud of that. We try to put out new product a good bit.
Well, it's a situation that affects everyone. The law affects everybody, and we're happy to have this program. Thank you for being with us every week on Law Focus. That's Law Focus every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
Paran's Jambalaya Kitchen. Homemade Cajun dishes for takeout, curbside pickup, or home delivery. Call 228-207-2821. We serve offices, we cater, and we serve hungry families. From jambalaya and pastalaya to cracklins and boudin. Especially appealing, our wonderful and legendary pecan pie. That's Paran's. Call 228-207-2821. Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters. Well, Business Showcase, let's meet Dr. Lauren Timmons. Dr. Timmons from the Timmons Dental Practice here in Ocean Springs.
That's right.
Now, you know, you would expect to find some of this modern technology that you've got maybe in the big cities, but right here in Ocean Springs, you've got it, which is kind of an unusual thing to have that type of gear right here.
Right. Cone beam CT.
What is that?
That's a cone beam CT. It's a CT of the head and neck that we have in the dental office, which can render a 3D X-ray and allow us to see the bone in every dimension to put implants in the best, safest part of bone away from anatomical structures like your maxillary sinus or the nerve that runs through your jaw, and safely, accurately place implants. So
we've talked about it before. The ability for a person to come in, let's say they've had an accident, they've got a broken tooth, you could literally extract the tooth, put the implant in, make the tooth, screw the tooth into the implant, and they walk out with a tooth at one visit.
Right. Yes, we're one of the few practices that can, if a person unfortunately crown breaks off of a front tooth or they have an accident, they can come in, take a 3D X-ray, design where the implant should go in their 3D X-ray, mill out a surgical guide, take that tooth out, place the implant there with using our surgical guide that we digitally created on a computer on their 3D X-ray, and then mill out a crown that will go immediately on top of that implant, and then walk out like nothing ever happened.
So the technology allows you to do this.
Correct.
Which this is brand new technology.
It is new to dentistry. It is still catching on. It's very cutting edge, and we're very proud to offer this technology.
All right, so that leads me to this question. Why did you do this? I mean, I understand that it's because it's the best way to go, right? But on the other hand, I'm sure it's a huge investment, which most dentists don't make that investment. Why did you do that?
If it's a huge financial investment, and a lot of dentists, I suppose, don't make that investment in this. I did. I saw the value in it immediately. I love what I do. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I want to be the best at it that I possibly can be. And this is essential to doing implants, where there's no guesswork, and we can place them accurately in bone. And then the final crown that we do on the implant, the implant being in the correct position on the correct angulation to have a great restoration or crown that we place on the implant, and it not be what we call a restoration nightmare. This takes all the guesswork out of that.
And so, other than that, you have a practice that works with, I guess, all ages, kids too, right?
It's family and cosmetic dentistry. We like doing it all. We see young kids, and we also do large veneer and anterior cases, full mouth rehabs. We do Invisalign braces. We even do Botox and dermal fillers, which I love doing. It's a big demand for that. A lot of people ask for that.
Tell us what is the lowdown on they're still doing these. What do you call them when they fill in the nerve? Let's say the tooth dies and they drill in.
Root canals.
A root canal. Okay, a root canal used to be something that people would do. Did the implant make root canals obsolete?
Absolutely not. There's still a great need for root canals, and anytime we can save the tooth, and there's enough tooth to save, and the nerve has been involved, there's an abscess, and the tooth can be root canaled, and us do a crown on that tooth, that's the best case scenario. Other times when there's too much tooth structure gone and it doesn't warrant saving the tooth with a crown and root canal, we elect to extract the tooth and do a root canal. Extract the tooth and do an implant with the crown on an implant.
You know, there's a bit of controversy now about root canals that I've read about, where, you know, people have said, well, you know, you do a root canal and then sooner or later some type of fermentation begins, and then you've got bacteria in the pocket down in here and up here and up here. You walk around, your head's full of bacteria in these root canals, which the bacteria. Now, so you see what I mean. So that's what I've read. Can you speak to that? What is the situation with this? I mean,
well, guess what? The head is full of bacteria anyway. The mouth is a petri dish of bacteria. So it's up to us to, especially mouth rinses, really cut down on that amount of bacteria. But I don't subscribe to that theory, and there's a lot to do on the internet about root canals are causing cancer and doing this and doing that. To tell you the truth, it's nonsense. The root canal material that fills the tooth is the thing that's at question. It's from a plant extract called gutta percha from a tree in South America that's basically like a rubber compound, and the little cement that's used with it is mostly calcium hydroxide. Very innocuous, very benign to the body. Almost no one has expressed any allergies to it on the planet ever, and that's why it's used in root canals.
so root canals are still part of life then?
Very much, and like I say, if there's too much tooth structure gone and it doesn't, it's beyond doing a root canal and crown, that's what implants are there for.
Okay, well, we've had the information up on the screen, so hopefully people have seen it, and good luck with the continued success, okay?
Thank you, Ed.
Okay, thank you, Doug.
You're watching WXVO Television, Ocean 7. Pascagoula, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Mississippi.